Good evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to another video brought to you by Total Control Traders. First off, a huge thank you to all of you for watching and subscribing, as well as sharing our channel with your friends and relatives. We are now at over 200 subscribers. Makes me very excited. Thank you again. Now with that, we are going to be bringing some changes to our videos, starting with this one. You will notice that you'll be able to change the quality of our videos going forward to 1440p versus 1080 pixels. Also, starting this weekend, instead of our normal weekend ticker review videos, we'll be doing a new kind of video where it's a weekly stock pick video. Now this new weekly stock pick video will consist of there's no limit, no minimum, no maximum stocks, anything that's potentially on my top watch, golden setup, the best setups that are most likely to pay. Those will be covered in those weekend review videos. So instead of us spending an hour some together going through to look for videos, basically we're just putting the recap part into one shorter video for you guys. Alright, so make sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what tickers you are watching, what tickers look interesting. Always happy to take a look at them, see if there's any potentials. Let's get right into it. First one, SPX. So early today, we saw a bounce. Very early today, pre-market, 1 o'clock, big bull volume came in. And from there, we saw a decent bounce all the way into 8 o'clock. Before a, what is this called? Reverse V shape? Not exactly an N shape. So reverse V shape that came in, which shows some concerns, major red flags for the bulls. We haven't seen this type of move in quite some time, where a bounce comes in, making new hourly highs. Was it new 4-hour highs? No. So was it basically a 4-hour lower high, an hourly higher high that got immediately sold off into? So that's a little bit of a red flag, a bit of concern there for the bulls. I am still remaining a 90% cash position as mentioned in our Tuesday's video. So until a clarity shows up on the market, we'll remain conservative on entries. One entry I did pick up is our top watch. I won't discuss that yet because we're gonna have to watch. It's just something that I wanted to be in, and I know that there could be lower prices come in. It's for those of you that have seen our previous videos, you would know that this should be Amazon. Anyways, rejecting from daily higher high today. All right, let's get back to the market. So two zones I'm watching still remains the same. First one being the 0.382. Nothing has changed in the market yet. 0.382, most ideal entry is going to be this GP lining up with this previous resistance, previous all-time high resistance, lining up with this lower trend line as well. So triple confluence area, you know that's my favorite. We're looking at 44.22 to 44.28 for a most ideal entry on SPX. Today, there's a little bit of a opposite of what previously has been, and we will discuss that. Well, actually, let's take a look at it first. QQQ over IWM, we did get to the GP again today, and we're seeing a rejection off of it, meaning NAS, QQQs are weaker than RUS today. So from here, I am still expecting the same thing, either looking at a double top or a higher, a daily higher high, 1.74, 1.75 kind of thing, to this top of the key zone, forming that daily bear divergence before a real hard rejection coming in on QQQ IWM. That's a personal anticipation right now, but we're going to have to see what the next couple days price action looks like. We could very well reject from here right now. It is in GP. Wicked from it last time, made a new high, and now we are seeing in the GP a little bit of rejection again. So with that being said, when we look at QQQ, we are seeing relative weakness today, losing that 88, and volume not significant. Tomorrow, I would anticipate likely further follow through tomorrow. But today was key, and we did lose that 88. So tomorrow anticipation would be to see some follow through. If we get early signs of bullish action, we could negate that. You know, this could very well be a daily higher low, and that would be really strong daily higher low. I do anticipate that we're going to see lower prices, possibly a test of this previous all-time high, which lines up with the 0.5. That would make sense. What could also make sense is if you were to draw it like this. Yeah, so you see there's a triple confluence area. Just depending on how you want to draw it, you know, this trend line does make sense to me. Short term wise, 2 bounces, previous all-time high, 0.5 fib. So it would be right about here that I'm looking at over the next 1, 2, 3 days. And then there is Rus. Rus was relatively strong today, but it is a spinning candle as well, meaning in direction, there's no clear directions where this is going. This could very well be the higher low, the daily higher low that we're looking at. It has bounced from 0.382. Essentially, I am still looking for that 0.5 touch, similar to the NAS. 0.5 lining up with the lower trend line of the inner wedge, as well as previous support, somewhere around 2200. All right, Dow, I think we saw a bounce. Yeah, we saw a bounce similar to SPX. We saw a bounce early on 1 o'clock, bounce straight over that previous all-time high zone, but then saw a V-shaped sell-off. So slight red flag. Nothing major on US dollars. Bitcoin inside bar as expected. We are potentially going to see another inside bar tomorrow. I wouldn't imagine lower prices to come on this. At least another touch of this trend line lining up with the 0.382. Gold rejecting from GP. So no major red flags on the market yet. US 10 years looks like a triple top. Quad top, 1, 2, 3. I'll call it triple top, 3 touches. Yeah, so no major concerns on market yet. Now keep in mind, next week Friday is quad witching hour, meaning there's going to be potential increased volatility over the whole the next week Friday's last 2 hours kind of thing. So keep that in mind if you're full boat in trades, or if you're very invested in the market right now. All right, let's cover the hottest tickers. So we looked at Bitcoin. Let's look at HIVE. We are anticipating Bitcoin to drop a little bit further. On HIVE, we are seeing a 1, 2, 3, so 4 touches. Yeah, 4 touches on the upper trend line, 1, 2, almost touch. 3 touches on the lower trend line. It is a rising wedge, so one would expect for a bear break on this. Now, upon the bear break on this lower trend line, would anticipate a further follow through. So the anticipation on HIVE, as the way it stands, would be potentially something like this. Retest, coming back down. Or come back down to this top end of the key zone before a retest of resistance support right around here, and then coming back down. So a couple possible scenarios. Looking at this, we're going to have to see where the bear break comes in at. Potentially over here, back test. This actually might make a little bit more sense. Something like that on HIVE. All right, next is LULU. Huge earnings reaction today. We saw a 14% gap up and sell. So a little bit of a red flag. We could be seeing immediate gap fill over the next few days. There is also another chance of just gap filling to here before a move up. But based on the selling pressure, based on the gap up and immediate sell, I would anticipate that we're going to see a gap fill in the near future on LULU. Regardless, congrats to those that played LULU earning. This is in blue sky all-time high run. We're going to need to see further momentum to see further run in this case. Now, when I was looking at this could it doesn't exactly qualify because we are missing two parts of the scenario, but the underlining qualities are there. So sideways action for how long is this now? June all the way till the breakout was July. Over a year of sideways action on LULU, a breakdown fake out, coming up to this new high, staying within that channel, and then revisiting almost that GP, so showing extra strength before a bounce up to new all-time highs. Now earnings seeing continuation. Ideally, based on today's candle, let's see if that gap fills. Would anticipate further selling pressure to come. Tomorrow will be key. If we're seeing inside bar tomorrow, then this could continue to grind a little bit higher before dropping down to fill the gap. All right, next is PTON. So PTON, there's news today on it, something about clothing line. Good time to come out as Lulu's earnings comes out. On this, we saw a nice gap up and run on the 30-minute and the 30-minute bull flag, or was it 15-minute bull flag? 15-minute bull flag, did not lose that 15-minute 8, and then started grinding up. I'll go all day for the rest of the day. Last 15-minute of the day, a little bit of a sell-off with slight bear volume, nothing of a concern. On this, it's a delayed response. Essentially what we're looking at is we lost this early money line. Now this was a must hold money line. Okay, we did lose it ever so slightly. We lost that GP as well. But with this news, I would anticipate if we're able to see, actually, even if we see inside bar tomorrow, as long as we don't lose the daily 8, I would anticipate higher prices to come. That would actually be most ideal entry. And if we see inside bar tomorrow holding that daily 8, I would consider taking up a position on PTON. Essentially, it would be a money line. Let's see. Let's draw this lower. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, so essentially still a money line GP kind of thing. We did lose it a little bit, but huge bull volume and action coming in. Gonna have to watch for tomorrow. Either follow through inside bar holding that daily 8. As long as we don't lose that daily 8, we could see another back test of this money line before an actual move up. But if that's the case, I want to see a wick holding that daily 8. Okay, next is Mrna. So last time we covered Mrna is we discussed the potential of this cup and handle pattern. Looks like it's forming up real nicely today, or ever since we discussed it. Was it Tuesday, Monday, one of these 2 days? Today is up 7.81%. Cup and handle so far looking very nice. We're gonna have to watch for the reaction at new high, which was just under 500. So which makes sense. Last time we got to the high was 497. If we're to get to 499, even 498, that would be a new high, and we will be looking for a bull flag formation, which the whole pattern then would become a cup and handle, meaning a next leg up. Mrna looking very nice. No reason to sell yet. Watch for the reaction at new all-time high. Next is LSPD. So decided to cover this ticker because we usually don't cover. I don't think we have covered light speed before, but it's a ticker that we really should be watching. The charting is a little bit messy. Yeah, charting is a little bit messy. I mean, you look at the pandemic low. Pandemic low was $8, and we're trading up at 124. What is that? 1,500%. All right, 124 divided by 817. Yeah, 1,577%. 1,577%. Why would we not cover this ticker? So let's take a look at this ticker. There is a money line way down here. We were in a long-term channel, which we saw triple rejection from. Yeah, triple rejection from, all in that same time frame. And then yeah, coming back down, didn't get to the GP, so relatively strong, holding that new key zone. Came back up, resistance zone, but broke over. Now the new trend line forming, increased momentum, breaking over that channel, upper trend line. We are seeing continuation into overbought, daily overbought. There's a slight daily bear divergence right now, but I don't see any reason. If you're in the trade, congrats. No reason to sell yet. You know, based on this chart, I will be looking at just depends how much room you want to give it. Either monthly 8, that would be fairly low because that's going to be about 30% give back. You know, you're looking at 124 dropping all the way down to 90 versus weekly. We'd be looking at 124 all the way down to 104. Weekly, I would feel a little bit more comfortable. But if we were looking at the weekly, then let's see. Last time we lost it, probably give it a couple percent down below the weekly 8. Yeah, couple percent, just so that you don't get faked out. But the chart looks great. Look at the volume, low bear volume, very nice bull volumes. No reason for selling yet. Short term wise, you'd be looking at I would probably stick to the 4-hour 8 or the daily 8. All right, so that's it for the hotter stickers. Now let's take a look at some other tickers I wanted to take a look at that we should be covering. So somewhat similar to Lightspeed. UPST, huge bull volume, channel breaking in the upper trend line of the channel, extending past the 1-to-1 extension. We saw a little bit of a stall at the 1-to-1 extension, but now we're seeing extension, increasing bull volume again, negating that daily bear divergence. There is no negated the bear divergence. There's no reason to sell on this one yet. Daily 8, clearly the guide. UPST should be playing. If you're not in, I know it's going to be a little bit scary to play this now because we are in the daily overbought position already. But you know, if you see a touch on the daily 8, that could be a low risk entry. I'm going to be keeping this chart on watch. It should be at the top. Why is it not at the top? Okay, we're going to be keeping LSPD, UPST, both of them, moving them onto the higher watch list, wherever LSPD went. There it is. Okay, moving them up on the watch list. All right. Another one to cover is Airbnb. We are seeing notable relative strength in Airbnb. In the market pullback, the Airbnb is still forming a daily bull divergence over that GP. No significant bull volume. The anticipation is if we were to start pulling back now, this might actually be drawn a little bit different now. If we were to start pulling back now, we could see, you know, I would be looking at eyeing this previous resistance support area, 152.70. That would be around the area that I'd be looking for a re-entry. Chart looks strong though, especially considering the market pullback. No reason to sell. I did sell mine. As mentioned, this could be a mistake in selling, but hey, we played it all the way from down here. There's a decent profit so far. I want to see a rejection, especially in this kind of market pullback. More comfortable holding in cash anyways. Anyway, so we'll be keeping Airbnb in on a close top watch, watching for the re-entry here. Next is AAL. So reopenings saw decent moves today. Majority of the reopenings, we were looking at Marriott, we were looking at Airbnb, we were looking at what happened to my charts? One sec, guys. Yeah, so we're looking at Airbnb, AAL, CCL, Jet. CCL looks a little bit weaker, but regardless, most of the reopenings saw a very nice move today. So this has me convinced that we should be seeing trend reversal coming in. Huge bull volume on the daily higher low forming at the GP. So tomorrow we should see follow through breaking over this lower trend line. Upon that happening, we'll be adding to the position, but I wanted to give it till tomorrow due to the market consolidation. There is still a chance that we're going to see a rejection tomorrow going into the next day. See another rejection coming back down, potentially making a lower low, essentially because we did not close over the previous lower high. there is still that chance that exists in this market. Better to be a little bit more conservative, as our channel says, you know, patience pays, persistence perfect. So make sure to be persistent, stay patient in a market that's pulling back if you're looking at bull entries. All right, next is AMD. So AMD game plan has not changed. Essentially, I don't know where that drawing went, but it should have been, I think we covered it somewhere here. You know, we're looking at A, B, nope, that's not right. So it would be like more like this, A, B, C. This is what I'm expecting. And essentially, yeah, most ideal entry would be looking at the GP. Right now, the pattern is working out almost perfectly. Let's see what this was. So it's a GP rejection. Ooh, this is working out perfectly. GP touch, look at that. Almost touch. GP, so it does indicate weakness, you know, near touch, very, very close. Shooting star candle, reversal candle we're looking at. With this, I would anticipate coming back down lower than 101.98. So the next part that makes sense would be this GP along with the trend line, along with this previous high zone. Just under $100, that would be the most ideal entry on AMD. Next is GTII. Took an entry on GTII today and made something I don't usually do. You know, I sold 2 other positions in Canadian. Decided to take GTII because when I look at this chart, this looks amazing in comparison to majority of the marijuana stocks. You know, if you look at, let's just go over this. Hey, how did that? Oh, I did not know I can do this. Oh, cool. Okay. CGC, you know, gave the whole move back. So this is a move from October all the way up to February. Gave basically the whole move back. We were looking at Truo. It gave 50%, almost at GP, so 60% back already. And we're looking at Cron, it's given more than the GP back already. We look at VFF, you know, it's given, we're at GP right now. OGI, regardless. So look at GTII. The move started beforehand, and we are seeing essentially a okay, that's not good, monthly bull flag, but we saw a break under that daily monthly 8 today, which actually reminds me of Wayfair. This was monthly bull flag. We broke under the monthly 8 and a huge bounce up. So maybe we should determine where the key support resistance on GTII is. But regardless, I took an entry today on GTII. To me, it's a low risk entry. You know, when I look at it, it is a confluence zone of the top of a key zone lining up with the lower trend line of the wedge. So resistance is here. Short term 0.382. We're looking at 35, which is still under the daily 8. More significant 0.382 would be at 36, and then also the GP lines up with this previous rejection. This could actually be lower. Not that low. Can't find the spot, but this makes sense. Rejection, slight wick over, support, a slight wick under, support. Oh, this is kind of annoying. Yeah, I still think that works better. Interesting. So notable support, chopped around. Multiple supports here again. There, that makes more sense. Okay, so 2.5. Okay, so on this bounce, I would be looking at potentially the 0.5 above the daily 8. But GTI, the chart looks pretty great. Yeah, so took a couple positions off in order to get into this today. Easy stop under would be I'd be looking at under $31. Next is hood. So as mentioned in the previous video before, oh wow, that's actually working out perfectly. Okay, so I mentioned in the previous, I don't usually cover hood, but when we looked at this last time, the time before last time, it was somewhere around back here. I mentioned that, you know, there's no reason for entries right now. What I can see is, okay, maybe around here, but what I can see is constant rejection from this trend line coming back down to this previous IPO high before a bounce, and we did see a IPO high before a bounce today. Now from here, what I would anticipate is a bounce to the daily high before coming down to the lower part of the key zone before the actual bounce back up to the upper trend line. This is what I'm looking at for hood, but personally would not be trading it. It's not something that interests me, especially after this kind of squeeze. Probably give it a little bit more time. We are seeing increasing bear volume, a very slight bounce today. It is still relative strength versus the market though, so worth keeping an eye on, and that's hood. Next is SRNG. I can't remember what the news on this was, but we were range bound for a long time, and yesterday went straight from the upper range to the lower range. Again today with an inside part upper range to the lower range. We did see a new low, so if you were to see, you know, any prices coming to near this low, it could be a very nice bottom fishing play with easy stop under 974. But volatility is coming into this name. We are range bound. Once one of these two ranges break, I would anticipate very nice move following through, but you're gonna need that second day follow through. So looking at this, you know, the day that we broke, huge upper wick, second day no follow through, that is a sign to GTFO. Get the F out. And then from this, yeah, watch for the second day volume. A break with volume with second day follow through. Next is PLTR. Okay, PLTR a little bit choppy. Yesterday we did lose that 88. We were coming. I was looking at this, you know, thought about the entry. It was just below 24. I had my limit order at 24.98. What do we get to? Woo, that would have been filled 2 cents from the bottom. Had the limit order at 24.98, but decided to take it off because I was looking at this, you know, most ideal is I want to see another touch of this upper trend line of this previous channel, which lines up with the golden pocket, which we could still see tomorrow because timeline wise that makes sense tomorrow. If we see a decent pullback in the market tomorrow, we could very well see a touch over there before an actual bounce. But so far, you know, that could have been a 2 cent off, but given the market yesterday and today, I'm okay not adding to the position. Essentially, we did see a straight bounce back up above the 88 today. But if we were to make a new high from here, we will be seeing potentially seeing a daily bear divergence. So it doesn't really fit my trading style. I want to see tomorrow, day after, see what it looks like. Ideally touch, most ideal entry. Okay, and what did I have? I have another one. Last one, DKNG. Key zone rejections, we did get over that GP. Where is the 0.786? Ooh, still quite a bit of ways away. Very key. So, by the way, for those of you that do see this, because I've noticed that when I take snapshots, it does not take a snapshot of this. This is what alerts I have set on each chart, these orange lines, or orange horizontal lines. So once it does break this upper part of the key zone, my alert would go off, and that would be when I pull the chart up, take a very close look at it. As for DKNG, it is on an amazing bull streak right now. Since the last higher low, we are seeing 27%, more than 27% move upwards already. bull flag just under the GP, and then confirmation. Don't see that too often. We are seeing a bull flag right underneath this key zone again. Anticipation would be we will need a daily higher low. Now, a matter of where that's going to be coming in, because of where we are in the chart now. 0.5, there is a chance of this just seeing the 0.382 and then complete reversal. So what could happen here is revisit of the 0.382, lines up with support from back here, resistance around here. It doesn't really make that much sense because it was chopped around here. So it could be, you know, somewhere here, 0.23 anyways. Before another test, potentially breaking barrier on this. So this is a potential scenario on DKNG, but the chart looks amazing. There's no reason to sell yet until that daily 8 is lost. Remember, give it a little bit of room from daily 8. I think it was what, 3%? Don't make the mistake I made. Yeah, about 3%. Give 3% below the 88. That would be your stop loss. All right, so that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, because we changed the what is it called, displays on our videos to 1440. Gonna need to change this. So and there we go. All right, so thank you for watching, subscribing, as well as sharing our channel. And again, thank you guys very much for your support to over 200 subscribers. Hope you guys enjoy the 1440, the higher quality resolutions, and keep your eyes out for this weekend's top stock pick video. I will see you guys in this weekend's video. Take care.